Fellow world-class pilots, recently we announced our decision to enter into mediation with Air Canada for our contract negotiations. We're here today to answer some of your frequently asked questions. Why did the parties decide to utilize mediation now? In discussion with your MEC leadership over the holidays, senior management indicated that the board of directors was pressuring them to protect the summer, and their only solution was to file a notice of dispute, which would then put our negotiation into a premature conciliation process. We highlighted the fallacy of protecting the summer when the operation is run on antiquated software while crew scheduling stretches us to our limits. But management was clear that the board was singularly focused on the summer. Conciliation would have put us on a 60-day timeline of government-assisted negotiations, followed by a 21-day cooling-off period. Recognizing that there was too much work to complete in roughly 3 months, we suggested that the parties employ a private mediator to assist, which management ultimately agreed to.
Why didn't the MEC just accept management's filing of notice of dispute? A world-class contract takes time to negotiate. While we have presented management with all sections for a new collective agreement, management has only formally agreed to one administrative article of our new contract. Your MEC and negotiators believe that an 81-day process would not have provided enough time to discuss all the open items, reach agreements, and craft new contract language that provides the clarity we all expect in our new contract. We felt it was better to take the time necessary to capture the needs of our pilot group rather than allow management to bring an untimely end to our negotiations.
Why did the MEC agree to use William Kaplan? In Canadian labor relations, there are only a handful of arbitrators/mediators who can assert enough pressure on the parties to reach an agreement. Mr. Kaplan is such an arbitrator who commands control over the process and challenges parties who are not behaving appropriately. This is the type of mediator our pilot group needs that can hold management accountable and force them to deliver proposals and data that ultimately leads to an agreement. What happens if arbitrator Kaplan fails at holding management accountable? Then, under our mediation protocol agreement, Mr. Kaplan can determine that the parties are at an impasse, which would then allow either party to file a notice of dispute with the government that starts the conciliation process.
Didn't WestJet use arbitrator Kaplan in their negotiations for collective agreement number 1, which produced a bad result for them? ALPA and WestJet jointly agreed to use arbitrator Kaplan to bring their CA1 negotiation to a conclusion. Mr. Kaplan started as a mediator, where his first action was securing management's agreement that swoop pilots would be treated as WestJet pilots on their seniority list, and ultimately considered part of the WestJet ALPA bargaining unit. Mr. Kaplan served as an interest arbitrator when mediation broke down and rendered a decision for a first collective agreement. While we will not opine on the substance of that first agreement, we will say that our circumstance is completely different and that we are not talking about an interest arbitration here, just a process that hopefully leads to a consensual agreement. And if that fails, then we reserve our rights to file a notice of dispute and enter conciliation.
Has arbitrator Kaplan assisted other labor groups in securing contracts? Yes. There are plenty of examples of Mr. Kaplan acting as an interest arbitrator, which is not applicable here, and deciding contracts on behalf of the parties. He also recently served as a mediator helping the Air Borealis pilots secure their first collective agreement that provided approximately 20% date of signing increases to the pilots, along with a brand new credit-based pay system, along with many other gains. Also, it's interesting to note that ALPA management and their professional union has named Mr. Kaplan to assist them should their talks on restructuring portions of the staff's health plan run into issues.
Does the mediation process prevent us from filing a notice of dispute for conciliation? No, it only delays when the parties can ultimately file for conciliation. Our mediation protocol agreement terminates on the earlier of the parties A, reaching agreement, B, the mediator determining that an impasse has been reached, C, the parties jointly deciding that mediation should terminate, or D, one party deciding to terminate the agreement upon 15 days' notice following June 1st, 2024. Do we really believe that the mediator would declare an impasse? Absolutely. This is a very skilled mediator who will not waste his or our time attempting to force management to negotiate if they are not so inclined. If Mr. Kaplan sees no positive outcome from his efforts, he will want to exit the process as quickly as us.
Does the June 1st, 2024 date hamstring us? No. Realistically, it will take us months to reach an agreement on the outstanding items in this negotiation. Once agreements are reached, we then need to draft clear and unambiguous contract language, which is another area we believe Mr. Kaplan can and must assist the parties. All of this will easily take time, so June 1st date does not impact us. Moreover, our pilot group is focused on the end result, a world-class contract, and it's not about when exactly that is delivered. Yes, we would all like a pay increase immediately. However, we know from your input that this negotiation is about a lot more than just pay. We need significant improvements in our quality of life and scheduling improvements, and that takes time to achieve. Just like we would never rush or cut corners in the flight deck, we do not want to do so in this negotiation.
Does the private mediation agreement help management more than us? Every pilot will have their own opinion on this. However, from the MEC and negotiating committee's vantage point, we are presently at an impasse. We could have joined management in their filing of a notice of dispute that would have put both parties into conciliation and on track for a strike or lockout in mid to late April. With management only agreeing to one innocuous provision to close out an article, we have a tremendous amount of work to complete that could not occur before the end of April, even if management said yes to all our demands. This mediation process provides us the breathing room to properly discuss the issues of concern to Air Canada pilots with an engaged mediator actively trying to solve problems. If we're unable to achieve the results that we all need, then we retain our lawful right to file notice of dispute in mid-June.
Is there more that the pilot group can be doing to support the negotiations process? No. This pilot group has responded overwhelmingly to everything we've asked of you. Whether it's attending a picketing event, reading our communications, participating in our surveys, wearing the world-class contract lanyard, you all have gone above and beyond in helping our MEC secure our world-class contract. Please continue doing what you're doing and nothing more. We truly believe that the mediation process is a necessary step in this negotiation to help us achieve a contract that meets our pilots' needs.
What are the chances of us achieving a new contract in this mediation process? We are optimistic that Mr. Kaplan will greatly assist the parties in securing agreements on many of the 1,200 plus outstanding open items. However, as pilots, we must always plan for the unexpected. And in this case, we encourage you to continue saving money should we ultimately end up in a strike or lockout position. Self-help is not our goal, but we recognize it may be part of the process to secure our world-class contract.